I'm good. I'm
How
good.
you doing?
I'm all right.
Where's Virginia?
She went to go get my daughter from cheerleading practice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, tell her I said hello.
Yes, ma'am. You know how we do.
She got the good questions. She has good questions. Page. Here we go. Clinton.
They rolling in.
Next.
You never signed up when I sent you the email.
No, I don't know what it is. It was saying spam at the top, and it said.
Yeah, I happen to pop up on it.
Who's that? Rachel? Okay, no, Rachel. She be knowing. Okay. Okay. Hold on. This Facebook is acting up again. Oh, no, it's good. Okay, hold on. Okay. As soon as I'm done with the Facebook, I'm gonna get started, okay?
Okay.
What am I doing? What's the title?
What'd you say?
I'm talking to myself.
Oh, okay. We go hear you. So anybody, small request, anybody who is able to at this particular point in time share their screen, please do so. We'd love to see your beautiful faces. This is our last Tuesday session. So if you can, that would be amazing.
All right, I'm gonna hit go live, and when it's doing stuff, I'll come back. All right, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. You know what? Can we unmute yourselves for 2 seconds? Just go 2 seconds, unmute yourself and say hello.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Hello.
Yes. Welcome to our third week of Clinton Hill Community Actions Financial Empowerment Series. And today's series and final series for the third week is moving from striving to thriving. Okay. Can I get an amen for those that want to strive? I mean, those that want to thrive. Raise your hands. That's right. Very good. So we are so excited to have you here. And without further ado, we're going to have our illustrious host for the evening, Cash Latif Holland of Financial Balls. Clap it up.
Thank you so much, people.
There you go,
Pleasure being in front of you guys again today. Thank you so much for joining this fine Tuesday. You could be anywhere else and you chose to be here, so thank you for that. We're going to go ahead and get started. And today we're actually talking about it from surviving to thriving. And give me 2 minutes. I'm going to present my screen. Let me know when you guys can see it, okay? Can you see it?
Yep. We can see it.
Good deal.
And if you're just joining us, please put your address and phone number privately to me in the chat because we got some good stuff coming for you. We want to make sure you get it. So go ahead, Cash.
All right. So like I mentioned, tonight's topic is moving from surviving to thriving. We have had a great couple of weeks. First week, we talked about budgeting during this crisis. And then last week, we talked about all the financial resources that are available to us so that we could succeed. And then we wanted to finish it up and culminate it with moving from surviving to thriving, right? I'm just going to go over this real quick, and I do apologize for those who already know me and have already heard my little spiel. But for those who have not, my name is Kashem Latif Holland. I'm the founder and executive director of Financial Boss. And Financial Boss is a nonprofit organization whereby we educate, empower, and edify others in the matters of financial literacy as well as money management. I also have curriculum, and primarily the company was set up to instruct children as young as 5 years old. Just a little bit about me. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. At a very early age, I realized that I was a habitual spender, and I'm proud to say that I still am. And so what wound up happening in New York, since it is so very expensive, some way I needed to cut costs. I decided to move across the water to New Jersey in 2011 so that I could at least save on my housing expense. However, that just wasn't enough. I've always been mathematically inclined. So once I got out here to New Jersey, I decided to sign up and go to Essex County College, where I obtained my associate's degree in accounting. And that's basically because, again, I've always been really good with math. I've also been doing taxes for about the last 12 years. After that, however, I realized that it was so much more than just the number crunching or just the dollars and cents, so to speak, that I was very equipped and educated enough to make money, but I had a problem with my spending habits and actually managing my money. So I decided to go ahead and to do my bachelor's, which I took at Montclair State. My background is actually technology related. And so my bachelor's, although it's in management of technology, business analytics, I minored in entrepreneurship. And I'm proud to say that that's when the company was founded and when Financial Boss was actually birthed. Because as a part of my coursework, I had to bring a company from inception to fruition. And at that particular point in time, although I had been able to now manage my finances effectively, I figured, how much better it would be and how much different my financial journey would have been if I learned this when I was younger. And so again, that's why I founded the company. I have written curriculum for children as young as 5 years old to instruct them on how not only to make money, but how to save it, how to spend it, how to donate, but most importantly, how to manage it effectively and efficiently so that they could better position themselves financially. And so, as the slide shows, last year really took a decisive turn where I got involved with a lot of educational institutions out here in New Jersey. And I've been, privileged to work with different companies, different organizations after school, the Summer Youth Employment Program in order to educate children. But in addition to that, of course, our community is based on the entire family unit. And so that is one of the reasons that I also educate adults in these same matters. All right. So enough about me. Let's go ahead and move into our topic. And as I mentioned, our topic is moving from surviving to thriving. For those of you who do not know me, so one of the things, I'm not the lecturer type. More of my workshops are extremely engaging because I do believe that we learn from each other, that it's important that we speak to one another and that we engage, right? And so I'm going to be asking a lot of questions. I ask if you guys have any questions for me that you also do so. Ask, whatever you need to. And again, I'm going to be asking some things. We'll really ask that you guys answer and be engaging with me. Okay. Could I get everybody know how to do a thumbs up in virtually? Could I get some thumbs up, especially for those whose faces I can't see? I see you, Tanisha. All right, Nee. Got y'all. Good deal. All right, moving into it. So big part of this, and I think one of the problems and issues that we have in a lot of what's going on and our lack of being able to move forward is that we are not properly educated and we don't have the knowledge that we need, right? And so we often are not able to make well-informed decisions because we don't really know what we are deciding. And so as a result of that, a big proponent of the program is, and any workshop that I do, is for us to really know what we're talking about. And so vocabulary and, definitions, the meaning of words is extremely important. So like I mentioned, we're talking about going from surviving to thriving. So somebody tell me what surviving means. Well, what does that mean to you? Somebody, anybody?
Hey everyone, good
Sacrifice.
evening.
Shut up. All
Living,
right.
Oops,
Nee, what'd you say?
living paycheck to paycheck.
That's right. Stephanie, what'd you
Right.
say?
Same thing.
And Tanisha? Tanisha, what you say?
The same thing.
I
Okay.
said sacrificing.
Sacrificing. Okay, so living from paycheck to paycheck, sacrificing, right? Bare minimum, right? So dictionary version says exactly what you guys talked about. Continuing to live or exist, right? In spite of hardship. Manage to keep going in difficult circumstances. But as you guys mentioned, right, it is the bare minimum usually, and that's what a lot of us have been doing this year, right? If this hasn't been a year of survival, like I need some hands up for anybody who's like just glad that you made it to October of 2020, because I don't know about y'all, but this has been a heck of a year, right?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
and many of us, again, we've managed to survive. We've managed to get through, but what I really want to talk about is how do we get over that threshold? Like we're ending the year, we're going into another year, but it's no reason for us to still be positioned in this form and fashion for us just to be merely existing. Like we need to be doing more. And so that brings us to our topic, and what we're going to be discussing about is how do we thrive during this time? So you guys tell me, what does it mean to you to thrive? What does that word mean?
Having multiple streams of income.
Stephanie, you said having multiple streams of income, right? Who else?
Using your money wisely.
Right? Always. Good, Tanisha. Thanks. Anybody else?
Having enough money for investments and entertainment and pleasure.
Right. Not just the basics, right? Not just the essentials, not just working just to pay bills, right? But being able to do other things, fun things, right? And so some of the adjectives that I really liked in the dictionary are the ones that I listed here for you guys. And so it's to do well, to flourish, to grow vigorously, to prosper, advance, blossom, and succeed. And why I chose those words is because, again, to show the comparative difference. So the difference in just being able to maintain, just living from one paycheck to the next paycheck, just to pay bills, not being able to enjoy yourself, to now doing so much better. Right? Everybody knows what it is to blossom when a flower grows, right? And expounds, when it opens up, when you see its full potential. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about, is how do we make this shift? Because I know it's been extremely difficult, especially within this year. And I'm sure you guys have also heard that unfortunately the numbers are back up. And so there are now other things being like there are other things being put in place for especially the city of Newark, because the numbers are growing exponentially, right? The mayor mentioned that just the other day that there were more positive cases in Newark than of all of the cities in Essex County combined. We are now up to over 10,000 people who are actually positive, and almost 700 people who have died from COVID. And so, over the last couple of weeks, especially here recently, the numbers are growing. Okay. And see, so we are still in the midst of a crisis. We're still in the midst of a hardship. But what I want to do is focus on some of the things as to how we can still thrive. There are still things and things that we can do personally in order to get ahead, so we just don't have this feeling like we're merely existing. Okay, so those are the things that we're going to talk about today. First and foremost, we're going to talk about new jobs. So everybody, I'm not sure if everybody is employed necessarily currently now, but what I basically did and what we do on Tuesdays is I want to give you a holistic view of what is available. Okay, and give you some resources in order to take advantage of. And so as far as new jobs are considered, and that's whether you currently have a job, whether you are looking to just get a first job, whether you are looking to do a quote unquote, side job, or for additional income, because I think it was Stephanie who mentioned multiple streams of income, right? We're going to talk about that a lot today. Okay. And so what I wanted to do is provide you guys with this website, and it's jobs.covid19.nj.gov. This particular website is so essential because what it does is it lists by industry all of the people who are still hiring, all of the organizations that are still hiring. And so they started compiling this list when COVID originally hit. And it was basically because of the fact that there are still a lot of essential workers. There's still a lot of things that continue to go on and continue to move and shake, right? Like food delivery is one of them. So I'm sure even when we had a curfew, how many people use DoorDash or Uber Eats or any of that? Anybody order food, or did everybody just go shopping and eat at home? I was the only one ordering?
No, we order food.
Oh, okay.
Sundays.
Yeah, right. So those were considered essential workers because people needed to give food to them. And so, of course, those who were making the deliveries were employed, right? And receiving compensation for their work. In addition to that, another industry that is still open is the logistics area. How many people ordered anything online throughout this year?
Yep.
Yeah, right. Amazon,
I have.
Remember I told you my finger hurt, yeah.
right? Finger Hut. How'd it get to you? How'd you get it?
Delivered.
It was delivered, right? It was, and that field is called logistics. So your FedEx, your UPS, your Amazon deliveries, all of those are part of the logistics sector and industry. And so they were still open. Okay. And so if anybody was, is looking for a job, even still, UPS is hiring, FedEx is hiring, Amazon is hiring, because at the end of the day, even though we are not able to go into malls and shop, Amazon and online orders have skyrocketed. And in addition to that, it is still, even though it's we're in the midst of a pandemic, right? It's still holiday season. There are still people who celebrate holidays, who are preparing to buy things for the upcoming, whether it be Thanksgiving or Christmas or Kwanzaa or whatever it is, Hanukkah, whatever it is that you celebrate. But again, just to prove the point that we are still ordering things, right? There are still things, we are still buying, we're still consumers at the end of the day. We still spend money somewhere. And so that also, those jobs are all open. As far as retail and hospitality, even that, there are stores that are open now, that some stores have opened. There's always like we spoke about, those who are ordering food. So the restaurants, even when they were closed to the public, they were open to prepare food, right? So they are still open. And last but not least, the truck driving. So that the transportation area is booming. Whether you have a CDL, whether you don't have a CDL, because again, just because we are in the midst of a pandemic does not mean that certain stores do not need to be stocked. Case in point, as many of you are aware, like I said, there has been a mandate here recently where the city of Newark is closing early at 8 o'clock. How all stores except for essential stores like gas stations and supermarkets, they have to get their supplies, right? How do they get it? Truck drivers bring it to them.
Yeah.
So again, those areas are still open and those jobs are still available. So I just wanted to bring up just a few of them. But for anybody who's interested, again, I would definitely encourage you to go to the website, look and see if there's something. And again, perhaps if it's something that you want to do as your main job, or if you already have a job and you want to do something on the side. Another thing that I really didn't mention that I should have, which I apologize for, is that there are also a lot of work from home jobs. You will be able to find some of them on this website also. But if you are interested in any work from home jobs and you need that information, please reach out to me directly and I will be able to provide you with that information. Okay.
Can I ask what website is it?
Sure. Oh, I'm sorry, because you're on the phone. My apologies. So it's jobs, JOBS dot COVID-19 dot NJ .gov.
All right.
Okay, I have it.
Okay.
Thank you.
My apologies. Yeah. So, and just to let you guys know also, everybody who is registered, Renata and Keisha, they do have your email. And so this slide deck will be sent out to you. Okay. So you don't even have to worry about, all of this information will be provided to you so that you can peruse and look over it at your convenience. All right. All right. And I also wanted to mention to you guys, because I always want to give you again as much information as possible when applying for these things. There are certain things that you should definitely have. Please update your resume. Okay. Please update your resume. It's extremely important, even amongst this time. If you really haven't been working, if you've been doing volunteer work, if because you were laid off, then perhaps your dates have changed as far as your employment. Please update your resume. It's just like any other job. You want to give them the most accurate information that you can. So go ahead and update your resume, make any additions or necessary adjustments that are needed in order to land the job of your choice. All right. In addition to that, I would definitely encourage you to have an interview outfit. Even though most of these jobs, some of them are in person, but even if not online, you still need to look appropriate. So like even just now, to be really honest, you guys don't know if I have on pants, shorts, or boxers. At the end of the day, though, what is presented to you is appropriate, and you should also be doing the same. Okay, so make sure that you have a great interview shirt, and of course, if you're interviewing in person, a full outfit from head to toe. All right, and always remember, have identification with you. Okay. Um, Now, as I mentioned to you guys, a part of the financial bourse program and why it was created was primarily for children, right? And so I know that if not all of you, that many of you do have children. I wanted also to give some helpful resources for your children and especially your high school students, okay? Because there's some interesting things that are coming up. Not that they cannot also go to certain to the same website that I said as far as the jobs COVID-19 nj.gov. Because there are some jobs that they would be able to apply for depending on their age. But one of the things that I also wanted to mention is the need for internships. And so it is extremely important. And one of the ways that we get ahead is by the knowledge we have. Right? It's the more we learn, then ultimately the more we can earn, right? And the more financially stable we are able to become. And so again, a primary part of the financial bourse program is to teach young ones how to do this so that they have a better financial journey as they approach adulthood. So one of the things that I definitely want to mention and make sure you had the information about is that I'm working with several different organizations, and there are going to be internships that are offered to high school students. And so what I wanted to do is give you guys the website. So one particular organization is Parent Impact. And next month, actually, I believe it's on the 21st of November, they're going to be having a discussion forum. And one of the things that are going to be discussed there is how to provide better curriculum and more quality education for our children. Right? Because what tends to happen, and even what maybe some of you guys have realized, is that although they are being educated, many of them they still do not have the needed skills and tools in order to continue on in life. And so that's one of the things that this particular organization is doing in order to make sure that we can rectify that and perhaps change some of the school policies and things of that nature. And so I would encourage you to go to their website, which is parentimpact.org, and sign up for their newsletter, because anything that is going on, they will send out, right? In addition to that, like I mentioned, I'm privileged to, they're friends of mine, and we also do business together. And so I will be a part of the discussion forum in November, but also in December, they're doing an internship fair or something like a job fair, but there will be internships that are offered. And so while I also listed Financial Bourse, and I would actually encourage you guys to go ahead and sign up for the newsletter, which is called the Bourse Report, is because one of the things that Financial Bourse will always also be searching for is an unpaid internship for a high school student to cover the social media content. And so I'm working that up now. That should be available towards the end. The position I'm looking to fill by the end of December, top of the year, the latest, in order to manage all of the content for the company. Okay, so please sign up for the newsletter, the Bourse Report, because again, I will include that information in there. And last but not least, the intern group. So the intern group is extremely essential because of the fact that they have a virtual, like a remote program specifically. And there are several different jobs that are listed. And so I would encourage, if you have any students or any high school students, even though whether it's paid or unpaid, the experience that they will gain is immeasurable. And again, the more that they're able to learn and the more expertise that they acquire in doing these different things, the better that they'll be positioned going forward.
Excuse me, Cash.
Yes.
This is only for high school students?
Excuse me?
This is only for high school students?
Primarily, so the intern group, they do have some things for a younger demographic, but primarily it's high school students, and that's only because of the age. So usually it's like 16 and over is usually their mandate. However, like I mentioned, the intern group, it would definitely depend on, what exactly they're applying for, and they have several remote internships that they're offering. And the same thing, I will be very honest that as far as the internship that I am personally offering through Financial Boss, it is not just for high school students. I am definitely looking for someone who is social media savvy and who is willing to learn. And so I personally am not putting just a age limit on it. There will be a full process that will, that they'll have to comply, and I am definitely going to pick the person who is most qualified. I don't care how old they are.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I was just asking because I know some college kids who need to start internships. So
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely for college students also. And they're open to it as well. I think like a lot of times it's always good, whoever wants to apply for it. Why I particularly put high school students is because most of the internships, especially that's going to be going on with Parent Impact and mine's in particular as well, it is an unpaid internship. And so typically college students, they would need to be earning something, a measure of a stipend or something. Currently the position or the internship that I'll be filling is unpaid. However, if I am able to do a stipend by the time everything is worked out and, all logistics are covered, then I will definitely offer that. But it is open. It's open. So whoever wants to apply is they're totally able to do so.
Thank
Okay. Any other questions real quick? Okay. For these students, these individuals, these younger individuals, same thing. They need to have a resume. And that's even if they haven't worked before. If they've done any type of work, any type of volunteer work, anything like that, then it needs to be on their resume. And they need a resume. Just because they are younger individuals and may not have an extensive work history does not mean that they don't need a printed log of what they have done and what their experience entails, because that is something that they're going to need going into adulthood, right? So it's better for us to start them out now in the right way so that they can get acclimated to how this goes. So they also need a resume, in addition to the same thing, an interview outfit. Something that is nice and clean, not jeans and sneakers, a full suit, or pants and tie and a shirt, or a nice dress or a skirt and blouse. However it is, they need to have something that represents the fact that it is business attire and they are there for that purpose. They also would need personal identification. So if that is, whether it be a state ID or a school ID, either way, they need to have that. Okay, again, depending on their age. And one of the things that I added on here for the students is a writing sample, right? And I think that is extremely important. And I'm not saying that everyone requires it. Financial Boss will be requiring a writing sample. Okay, I need to know that the student is able to eloquently say and convey whatever message that they need to. And whatever form that is. And so not that it's going to be, a college dissertation, but I do want to know that they are able to effectively convey their message, because again, personally, I am looking for someone who is able to do social media content. So I need to know that it is going to come out appropriately, that it will not have any profanity, that it will also convey a message intellectually, right? Because that's more important than anything else. Okay, see, so I think that is extremely important. And again, for any of you who know of somebody who may be interested or have children of your own, this is an opportunity also for something for you to work with them on. Okay, and help them perfect that. Not that they have to have an A in English, but they should be able to convey their message. If the question says, like, tell me why this particular internship would be a good fit for you, they need to be able to sell themselves. Because again, going forward in life, this is something that they are going to need to know. The earlier that they're able to start this, the more seasoned and comfortable they will be in order to convey that. And at the end of it, that's what it's about, right? We have to be able to sell ourselves. We have to be confident about what we're pursuing. And so this is the time to get them on board and you know, help them to do this now, sooner rather than later. Any questions? Nope. Moving right on. So now we kind of, all right, so we just covered the new jobs, the internship. All right. Now we're going to get into the back to school. Now, I don't know how many people are looking to go back to school, but I did want to give you guys some resources because again, what are we talking about, right? We're talking about from going from surviving to thriving. We're from going from one position to the other. And I firmly believe that in order to get there, you have to be educated. You have to be experienced in some form or fashion. See, so whether it's through a job or employment, whether it's through education secularly or, you know, technical school, however it is, you still need to have this information in order to better position yourself. So let's go ahead and go into the back to school, right? Anybody in here, just a quick poll, like anybody interested in schooling or thought about like going back to school for anything, whether it be a trade school, degree, anything like that?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Stephanie, I know we talked. You said you was going for a master's,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Okay. Shantae, what are you thinking about doing?
I keep pushing the thing. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's okay.
To be a counselor for ACDC.
Okay.
Drug
Nice.
alcohol.
Nice. All right. I saw you too. I think Tawana.
Actually, a chemical dependency counselor. That's
Chemical dispense. Okay. Sounds good.
Yes.
Tawana, you have raised your hand.
Tanisha. I have raised my hand though.
Who's that? Raised their hand.
This
Tanisha.
Tanisha.
Oh, Tanisha, what you said?
Do that.
I'm sorry, no, because my screen is big, so I have to scroll over to see who's highlighted.
No, that was Tanisha. Well,
not-
I wanted to go back because I had already started and then I really needed a job. So now I want to go back far as a social worker.
Okay, go. Shantae,
Yeah.
what you want to do?
Just two, Shantae?
You? Shantae
Oh.
Cherry.
Shantae,
okay.
Cherry, and Shamar raised their hand. So Shantae, then Shamar.
Chemical dependency counselor.
Okay, dope. And Shamar, what about you?
I honestly want to be a police officer, but
Okay,
I'm looking into majoring in my field, which is logistics.
nice. That's what's up. Okay. So this is going to be extremely helpful, excuse me, for all of you who are interested in doing school. And it's just some of the resources. I wanted to give you as much information as possible. And I also wanted to be able to give you some information that was at low cost to you, right? Because I think that that's the most important. I don't know about you guys, but college is expensive, right? And I think with some of us, one of the hindering factors is how we're going to pay for it. See, because that's something that is not always taught to us, right? We're encouraged to go to school, but we're not taught again to how now to pay for this expense or what we need to do in advance in order to pay for this expense. So some of the things that I just wanted to give to you guys is that there is a community college opportunity grant. One of the colleges that is being used is Essex County. It is not the only one, but I just felt it apropos to mention Essex since we're right here in Newark. What I would encourage you guys is to go to the website, also reach out to this email address, which is tuitionfree@essex.edu, because you can get all of the information that you need. And so just the preliminary is you have to be able to enroll in at least 6 credits per semester, whether it was for the fall semester, which we're already in the midst of, so you won't obviously be able to get in for that, but also for the spring semester of 2021. Another part of the criteria is that your gross income must be less than $65,000. Gross income, like not after taxes, right? What they say you're supposed to make that you don't never come home with, that part. So it needs to be less than 65,000 in order to qualify. But again, if this is something that you're interested in doing, I would definitely suggest that you reach out to the tuition free department, which is actually the admissions department, and they will be able to talk to you and discuss on a case by case basis if you are eligible and how you can proceed. Okay. Um, excuse me. Another one is HESA. I don't know if anybody's heard of that. It actually stands for Higher Education Student Assistance Authority. And what HESA does is they are able to give certain grants, and they have a list of grants that they have that are accessible to you. And so I wanted to just give you guys that information to look up. And again, once you go onto the site, there are so many. There's about 12 different grants that are listed. They have different criteria depending on, your course of study, depending on your geographic location. And all of them, though, again, you're able to get money in order to go to school. Also, depending on what school you would like to go to, there are certain grants that are also available. And so I wanted to give you guys the information. If this is something that you're serious about and you definitely want to do, please check out the HESA site, because it has a wealth of information. And again, I don't really know about you guys, but if I want to do something and somebody else is offering to pay for it in addition to it, would you jump on it? I would. What about y'all?
Yep.
Yeah, definitely, right?
Yes.
Definitely.
Most definitely. So if we can get other money from other people to do something that we really want to do, it is always going to be beneficial.
Right.
Okay. Any questions so far?
No.
No, sir.
Okay. All right, sounds good. So, last but not least, just on this particular part, right? One of the criteria though that you have to do, especially for the community college, the opportunity grant, is you have to fill out a FOSFA application. And so what that is basically it's an application just showing, usually it's going to tap into your income tax. It'll show like your total amount that you earned the previous year. And basically what it is it's just a qualification requirement in order to substantiate your need for this grant. So it has to be filled out. So I wanted to give you guys links so that you could go there to fill out the FOSFA application. And if you're able to still do it for this year, although it's late in the game, but because of the pandemic, they extended it just a bit. But they also already have the application for next year, which is the 2021 into 2022. So even if you're positioning yourself and you're thinking about, hey, I know I want to go to school, but I can't go right now, please go to FOSFA, fill out the application for next year. You're one step ahead of the game. And I also felt the need to mention the New Jersey Alternative Financial Aid application is an application similar to FOSFA, but for those who are not U.S. citizens. Just because you are not a citizen does not mean that you do not go to college, right? So if you know of anybody who is not a U.S. citizen, but has already gone to high school here or has substantial ties to the community, if they're males, if they've already, signed up, they have to have signed up for the draft service. But if they are looking to do so and they don't have the documentation needed to do the FOSFA, they are able to do the Alternative Financial Aid for New Jersey application. So I also wanted to provide a link for that in case it be for yourself or someone that you know. Because again, we go on the premise of each one teach one, right? This is not just for everybody who's in the room or everybody who's viewing on Facebook. This is for whoever we know who may be able to take advantage of all of these resources. Because at the end of it, we don't want just us to be better. We want everybody to be better, right? We want anybody who is able to take advantage of this to be able to do so, to get to this next level, right, that we're talking about, and get to the point of thriving. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now we're going to go into free schooling, which is always great, right? So for everybody who kind of mentioned who I asked about, who wanted to go to school, and many of you were basically talking about secular schooling, so college, university, whatever that is, right? Anybody just looking to kind of do a trade or just want to get some additional knowledge, maybe already has a degree, wants to get some extra tips? I see you, Nee. Anybody just want to just want to learn something new? Naya, I see you. Okay, Naya, what you trying to learn?
Anything actually. I'm just one of those people that's interested in learning. So
Me too.
I'm always down for learning something new.
Like me too. What about you, Nee?
I wanna get my PMP.
Okay. Project management. All right.
Yeah, I need to get that.
Dope.
Then also, I need to learn some additional programs like Microsoft Project, and some of the other Microsoft suites, better.
Right. Okay. Sounds great. So this part is for you guys too, and anybody else, right? So there are some free. Let's start with Harvard. Harvard, everybody knows, is a Ivy League school. The name is indicative of eloquence and everything like that goes along with it. So if we could go to Harvard on a full-time basis, I'm sure most of us would take the opportunity and chance to do so, just because of the name alone and its reputation, right? The good thing about Harvard is that they have been offering free online classes. So I wanted to definitely give you guys that information. And that's the website in order to go to. Again, for all those who are on the phone or can't particularly see the actual presentation, you will get a copy that will be emailed to you. So you'll have all of this information at your disposal. Okay. So the website is actually listed here. Just so you guys know, the course itself is free. And most of the courses on there, they range from anywhere from about 4 weeks to about 12 weeks, depending on the subject matter. There are some, though, where you are able to get a certificate of completion. The certificates of completion range from anywhere from about $50 to $150. But I'm sure you guys tell me, right? If you could go for a course that is usually about $2,000 just to sit there, right, and listen to the same person and get proof that you participated in it, and now you get the opportunity to do it for $150 or under $200, would you take the opportunity?
Yes.
Sure.
Most definitely, right? Especially for have your name on a document that also says Harvard University, right? So this is available to everyone. There is no income requirement. There is no age discrimination, any of that. Go to the website, even if you're not interested in it, find a free course and sign up for it. So like, I agree with you, Naya. I have always had a thirst for knowledge, right? For a minute, I really thought that I was like a career student, right? Because of the fact that I feel so comfortable being educated. And it's always been something that I've just been into. So I'll take a course in a minute. I actually had talked to I believe Stephanie and I was talking right on the Fit Fridays that I do on every other Friday, and I was mentioning to her the same thing, that one of the things, like I have, as I mentioned, my associates and my bachelor's, I'm looking to do my master's in MBA in finance shortly, and I have been. However, currently there are other things that I've been involved in, just because I think that it better positions me, because that's what we're talking about, right? We're talking about being able to thrive. What is going to put you in a position to where you're able to move to the next step seamlessly and efficiently, right? See, so one of the things that I've been doing throughout this year, like my total thing, no matter what company it is, whether it's Financial Boss or the other companies where I'm a managing partner, is to better position our community. And so one of the things that I did earlier this year is I was licensed to I studied and took the test to be licensed to sell life insurance. By the end of the year, I'll be licensed I'll be securities licensed. Another thing that I looked into also when I was in school was doing my PMP. But more so now is that I'm looking to get my accreditation for credit counseling. So again, I haven't necessarily, went to college, but I'm continually getting the knowledge that I need in order to help other people. And of course, in order to sustain myself financially. And so that's really what we're talking about. That's that thriving piece, is however you do it. I wanted to give you guys so many different options so that it fits you, because everybody is not the school person, right? Everybody's not the job person. Like, to be quite honest, when I first came out of high school, I was tired of school. I've been in school since I was 3 years old. I started out in Head Start, right? See, so by the time I got to high school, I didn't want to go into college. It's not that I couldn't handle it, I didn't want to. And if they'd have gave me like a full scholarship at the time, I probably would have taken that option. But they didn't. And so I decided to go into the workforce. But then years later, it is something that I really wanted to do. And I'm not going to give away my age totally too much, but like to the year 20 years later is when I got from when I graduated with my high school diploma. 20 years later is when I graduated with my associates. So, whenever you decide to do, it's never too late to do it. And this is again how we move and position ourselves to do better financially and just to do better as far as the world circumstances and what we're living through now, right? So we touched on Harvard. The next thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is Coursera. Has anybody heard of Coursera? No?
No.
No?
Yes.
No.
Okay, so some no, some yes. All right, so Coursera is an online educational tool, right? The thing that I like about Coursera and why I felt the need to mention them is because they have online courses that you could actually finish in one day. See, because I know, like with Harvard, I was talking about how some of them, they're either 4 weeks to 12 weeks. Like sometimes, we got a lot of stuff going on. We don't have all that time to commit, right? Every Tuesday for the next 12 weeks. Like even in the midst of a pandemic, we just may not want to commit to that. And so why I felt the need to mention Coursera is because, like I mentioned, they have courses that you could actually finish in 8 hours, one day of your time. And again, the same thing. If in this one day, if in this 6 to 8 hours, you could learn something that could add not only, education to your brain, but money in your pocket, do you think it'll be worth it?
Yes.
Tell me.
Oh yeah. Yes, it
Yeah.
will.
Yeah, it would definitely be worth it. So please take advantage of it, right? Go ahead and look. And like I said, there is different course material. You would need to search and see what exactly you were interested in taking. And even if it's something that you never thought about before, it just might be interesting. You just might learn something that you never knew before that just might be beneficial for you in your future. And so I definitely encourage you guys to do that. The last two that I mentioned were Udemy and Teachable. Both companies or both online sites are for courses. Again, both of them offer free courses and both of them offer paid courses. So I just felt the need to go ahead and mention them to you. I definitely listed the websites for you guys so that you could go and just look into it. Search whatever you're looking for, whether it's business, whether it's photography, whether it's IT or software. Like search and see what they have available. And again, some of them are going to be free where you'll be able to get the knowledge for free. Some might be a small investment. But again, if you could figure out how to, if you can make a small investment of $100 to $200 in order to primarily or substantially increase your income, again, would it be worth it? What do you think?
Yes, it will.
Yeah, it'd be worth it.
Yeah.
If you could take a web development course for $300 and then potentially go forward and make your own business, right? And now be making $2,000 to $3,000 a month based on your $300 investment, would it be worth it?
Yes, it will be worth it.
It would definitely be worth it, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
And see, that's one of the things that I really want you guys to do is a part of this, right? And anytime when you're really talking about your financial status and your financial well-being, it is very important that you realize that it's a mindset, that you got to shift your paradigm. Like that's really what we're discussing here. Is you have to be able to look at things differently. And see, so sometimes we are so stuck in what we have to give and we're not really looking at what we get from it. See, so that's one of the things that, that I definitely discuss to people in my own like small business coaching and individual counseling is because of the fact that that's sometimes what we need to do. We have to motivate ourselves. We got to look at it different. It's not about, oh, I got to spend $300 for this course. It's about if I invest in this, I can make this much though. It's no different than if we go to a job and say, well, you know what, man, I don't feel like working. But, if I go into work, I'm going to get a paycheck at the end of the week. it's our motivation, it's our why. Sometimes it's the reasoning that we need, but even more so when you're talking about education, because
extra
of
trade, yeah.
extra credit, exactly. And we about to get into
Mhm.
that, right? Because of the fact that even more importantly is when we educate ourselves, the sky is the limit. See, that's one thing, and I'm not going to ever say that I'm against secular schooling at all, or about a 9 to 5 job at all. However, there is always a cap and there is always a ceiling. However, now if you get the education that you need, if you become an expert in your field, now you're able to determine your own prices, and the sky's the limit. There is no ceiling for you. And that's really what we're talking about when we're talking about thriving. Is being able to say, not if I go in for 10 hours at $10 an hour that I make $100. It's if I get 10 clients at $1,000 a client, right? Now we're talking about like $100,000. That's what we're looking to do. And that's what we're trying to get to, right? So that brings us to this part, right? Yay. Who wants to start a business? Who has a business? Who wants to start a business? Come on. Hey, what business?
Me.
Right? All right. So Nee, what's your business? Come on, tell us. I know it, but they don't.
Real estate development.
Dope.
Ooh.
Real estate development. All right. Stephanie.
I have a crystal shop.
Crystal shop. Al, anybody into Reiki and your chakras, right? Okay. Who else? Come on. Anybody else got a side hustle, business they want to start that maybe haven't started already? Everybody
Well,
ever?
I'm watching children. Yes, I babysit.
Okay. All right, Tanisha, that's what I'm talking about.
Look, I got 2 of them here now. Look.
Oh, look at you. Gotta love the kids. That's a little bit too little for me, but more power to you. Who else? Anybody else looking to start a business? Ever thought about entrepreneurship at all? Maybe a little bit. Raise your hands. Give me a thumbs up or something. Yeah. No.
You know what's so crazy, Cash? That
What?
I used to have a peddler license like 2-3 years ago. I just never renewed it. But I used to be out there selling my little cakes and my little cookies
See?
and all that stuff out there. But I just never
All right,
renewed
I'ma
it because
tell
I
you.
started that working. Yeah.
Well, listen, I'm gonna show you how we gonna get back to that, right?
Shantae.
Shantae, what'd you say? Yeah, Shantae, what business you got or what you want to start?
I sell accessories, so I'm interested in doing my own online, like an
Dope.
online boutique. And I write
All
poetry,
right.
so I'm aspiring
And
to do
poetry,
read-
Al.
Oh, I need some
Greeting
poetry.
cards.
Yes, let me get some. Yes,
Definitely.
let me
That's what I'm
support you.
talking about. Okay, KK. Oh, I'm sorry. I have not been looking in the chat. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. Hey, blah, please say it again. Hey. Culinary school. I see you, Tawana. Okay, got you, Steph. All right. So yeah, that is amazing. Awesome people. And so this is it. I don't know if you guys can tell, but this is like my favorite part. Okay. I am so much into entrepreneurship. Like I am what you would call a serial entrepreneur. And that's because, and I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. I'm gonna tell you guys. I know we getting close to time. I see you, Renata.
Thank you.
I see you.
And with that said, we just want to make sure that everyone's okay to keep going for a few more minutes. Is everybody all right with that?
Y'all good if I
Take
keep
your
running my
time.
mouth a
Keep
bit?
going.
All right. Okay. So I want to
Come
give
on,
you guys
Cash. Keep it going, Cash.
All right,
Keep
all
it
right.
going.
I need to give you guys just a little bit about my history in that, right? So I went to school. I got Network Plus and A+ certified because I was extremely into computer repair. At the time, I had got a job. Like they gave me the letter, the offering, told me I would get a laptop and all that. Something happened, it got rescinded. Right. So now here I am out of school with the education, got the know-how, and I didn't have a job. Right. So needless to say, I still had to pay rent at the time. I was in Brooklyn. This was some years ago, back in like 2008. And what I did is I looked on Craigslist. I was able to find a person who we are still friends today. He was dismantling his computer repair company. And he had 50 laptops that he needed to get out of his living room because his wife wanted either them out or him out. Right. And so I was able to talk to him because I had no money. but I was able to talk to him. I got him to agree to give me the laptops on consignment. And he did so, $50 a piece, right, for 50 laptops. And what I did at the time, I didn't have a vehicle or anything. One of the things that I did is every day in a book bag, I took 3 laptops and I walked the streets of Brooklyn until I sold them. And I didn't come home until I sold them. That worked out so well. In about 6 weeks, I made a profit of about $10,000. Right, because I sold them at $200, $250, something like that. And the great part about it is that I just wasn't a salesperson. It's that I actually knew how to repair them, and so that was a service that I also included and added in order to get people to buy it. So
And you're the hustler.
I was all day, like, so that I knew from a very young age. You know, when I was in elementary school, I was privileged to get an allowance, and so I would go to the store, and I'm gonna date myself for just a bit because that's back when we had quarter waters. Anybody remember quarter waters? The little juices that actually cost a quarter, right?
Yep.
I would go buy them for a quarter, and I'll come back to school and sell them for 40 cents. Right? See, so it's in my blood. It's in my spirit. Even now, currently,
Tell everybody how old you are. It's okay.
Oh boy, nah, I'm not at all. Like, I'm so privileged. I thank you very much. I mean, no, I'm not at all ashamed. This past August 18th, I just was blessed to celebrate my 43rd birthday. For those who don't know, I got older children. They just turned 22 and 20 at the beginning of this month. I got a grandbaby. She'll be 4 next month on Turkey Day. Actually, so yeah, so you know what I'm saying?
Them. God bless you.
Thank you. That's that, you know what I'm saying? Good genetics, good, thank God, right? but just so you know, so this I get really passionate about. Right. Even currently, I still have a computer repair and technology company. I do have a coaching company, as well as, Financial Boss, which is the nonprofit. I also do have a real estate investment company. Like, I believe in, like we were discussing before, and I think Stephanie mentioned, the multiple streams of income. It is important. I don't know. Everybody know who Warren Buffett is? Right? You've heard Warren Buffett. Anybody heard of him? No, nobody heard of Warren Buffett. So he is a multi-million-dollar man. And he made his money by investing in different things. But one of his famous quotes that I love, right? I see you, Tawana. And so one of the things that I love, right, is that one of his quotes says, if you do not learn how to make money while you are sleeping, you will work until you die. Profound statement. And so that has been a part of my mission, is to figure out how I could continue working, continually making money, so that I don't want to have to work for the rest of my life. And that's some of the things that I'm gonna help you guys today. And so let's first and foremost start out. This is what I want you guys to do. And we're gonna run through this because, yes, I do want to respect your time. I thank you guys for being here and for letting me extend just a bit. We got a couple of more slides and then I'm gonna wrap it up. Okay. We talked about this earlier, finding your side hustle or a hobby or something that you like to do and enjoy doing that you would want to do going forward, being able to monetize it and make it profitable, and with a low startup cost. So somebody mentioned about selling accessories. That's if you're selling, t-shirts. That's if it's cakes and brownies, whatever it is. There's some people who just like to cook, right? Now, how do you monetize that? You now do brownies for people. Everybody's always doing an event and they want a candy bar or cupcakes or chocolate covered pretzels or fudge dip strawberries, like whatever it is, right? And all you do is now you buy them, you put it in the work for it, and you sell it to them. And now here you've created something that you enjoy. Right? Something that you enjoy, and now you're able to make money from it. And so now it's not only what you have to do or what you go to do on a daily basis, but now it's something that brings you that fulfillment that you really need, right, in order to do. And so it could be a side hustle, it could be a hobby, but I wanted to start out that way, right? But now we're going to get into and talk about how do we make it a business, because although I don't, everything starts at a certain point. And as I mentioned, like back in my journey, I was just selling laptops and all that. But however, when I moved to New Jersey, I registered the company, in order to substantiate it so that going forward, it would be a legal company and actually a business in existence and not just a side hustle. right? So these are some of the things that I want you guys to think about. I felt the need to go ahead and give you guys this information. And everybody always talks about with doing a business that it's expensive in order to start. And I wanted to give you guys just some businesses that you can start for under $2,000. Right. So it doesn't have to be a huge investment. A lot of what's listed here are online, which is completely apropos for the times that we have now where everything is virtual. Right. So whether it's a resume service, where you're a small business coach, whether you do website development, whether you're flipping websites where you don't even have to develop, you just buy them and resell them at a profit. You can be a personal trainer. Did you guys know? I know everybody, just a side point, everybody has heard about OnlyFans, right? Right. Okay. No, nobody knows about OnlyFans.
No.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are some people. So OnlyFans is a site where it's become very popular, unfortunately now, because a
Yup,
lot
and
of
I'm about
people
to
are
get one.
because a lot, you're funny, because a lot of people are, a lot of people are using it for not, I would say, not the greatest reasons as far as showing their body and all that type of stuff. However, I was intrigued to know that on OnlyFans the top earner is a fitness coach, where she's actually doing videos and people are watching her go through her routine of fitness. Right. And as many people as sign in and watch you, that's how you're paid. And people are being paid substantial amount of monies on this particular site. Right.
And that's why I'm getting one.
And that's why, exactly, like Shamar, it's extremely profitable. Right. And so, those are just some of the things. If you do photography, anything like that, are certain things that if you like to do it on the side, you can make it into a business. I don't know who actually commented, 07 has the zip code, but I see that you said, yeah, you learned how to cut your boy's hair, saving money. Exactly. I used to do barbering myself and it was extremely, it was lucrative. I also wanted to give you guys some other ideas because these are different from the other ones and these are lower costing. So most of these that are on here, especially in the low cost, they're under $1,000. You can start at under $500, and some of them don't require any investment, period. So I want you guys, once you get the information, once you actually receive the slide deck, look over them, because that's going to be part of your task, especially for those who are coming back on Saturday. One of the things that I want you to do, I need you to identify a side hustle if you haven't already. Now, that's for those who, don't already have a business, or even if you've been thinking about something else. I want you guys to identify a business idea that you want to take to the next level, because whether you're working now or whatever it is, we've talked about several times that it is important that you have multiple streams of income. The average millionaire has about 7 streams of income, not just one 9-to-5 job. And so we want to better position ourselves to do that, right? I just wanted to briefly go through my 10 steps for starting a business. And we're really going to get to go into this on Saturday, where we're going to take this and really dive deep as to how you do it. I'm going to provide the websites and all this. This is just a brief overview. All right. So step number 1, research what you want to do. And again, after you figure out your idea, need you to do some research. Make sure it's plausible. Make sure it's profitable. Right. Need you to do a business plan. Doesn't have to be 17 pages. It could be a 1 page just stating what you want to do, what's going to be required, what type of funding you need, all of that.
Excuse me, not to cut you off. That's something
That's
like a grant writing, or you talk about something like that?
So a business plan, yes, can be used in order to seek funding. And so what it is just what it says is the plan of the business. It usually states who the operating, the executives are, where it's located, the mission and vision of the company, and what you are seeking to do. And then, yes, it could be followed by why you're seeking funding. Okay. But we're going to go into that, like I said, on Saturday and more in depth. Also figure out a location. So a lot of you, I mentioned, whether we're going to do a brick and mortar, or of course, in light of the times, a lot of things are being transferred to be doing virtually, which would be amazing, some type of online business. But either way, you got to figure it out, because when you're moving into step 4 and you require financing, you need to know how much money you're going to need. And obviously, if it's a in-person brick and mortar type of location, you're going to need much more money than if you decide to run it on a website or online or some type of platform, right? You also need to figure out the business structure and whether that's going to be a sole proprietorship, a LLC, a corporation, whether it's going to be a nonprofit organization. And again, we're going to get into more of that on Saturday. Definitely figure out your business name, make it be something that is apropos and that people will readily identify, and of course, something that is professional. In addition to that, you would like to apply for your employer ID number, which for those who don't know is like the social security number of the business. If you do need to do any registration, patents, trademarks, that would come next. And then you will also want to start a business account. And then step number 10 is congratulations, is because I feel at this particular point, you are a business owner. And it is extremely important that we recognize our accolades, even no matter whether they're big or small. So at this point, you have formally, before you even wrote your first business, before you've received a dollar, you're a business owner. And now we'll talk about how we take it to the next step. All right. Next steps, be focused and determined. I intentionally made those bigger and uppercase because that is what is essential, right? Be focused and determined. Wherever you lead yourself, whatever you put in your mind is where your feet will follow. Be focused and determined to succeed, because as we talked about, that thriving piece is about us being able to grow vigorously to our succession, right? Get all your paperwork in order, anything that is needed, no matter what it is, whether you're applying for school, whether you're applying for a job, make sure that you have everything together. And I would definitely encourage you guys, not only just what the information that I gave you, but if you see anybody who's offering a website, a webinar, a seminar, a free one, sign up, okay? Just like you guys are here. Right. And especially, you know what I'm saying, if they're at no or low cost to you, it is extremely essential that you be a part of it. Right. And even if I will mention the same thing that I did last week, it's just like take full advantage of it, but don't abuse it. Because just because it's free of charge to you does not mean that someone else did not pay for it. Right. So I want you guys to be really intentful as to how you handle things going forward. So your tasks, like I said, these are your tasks, and I would like for you guys to really focus on this before we meet together on Saturday. And that's if you are looking for a new job, apply to at least 3 jobs. Just apply. It's a numbers game. The more you apply, the more likely you are to get one. Okay. As far as schooling, enroll in at least 1 class. Go to the free website, find something, even if it's like horticulture or photography. You never thought about doing it before, but it's free. Sign up and take the course. Okay, at least enroll in the course. And then for the entrepreneurship piece, which is for everybody or those who are extremely looking to do it, whether you have a company or not. For those who do not have one, go back to that list, figure out, I provided you with 2 lists. It's approximately 80, almost 100 different things that you could do. Figure out a side hustle. For those who already have a business, figure out how better you can monetize your company, right? Saturday, we're going to get together October 31st between the hours of 10:30 and 11:30 a.m. And what we're going to talk about, again, we're going to deep dive into the entrepreneurial process, exactly what's needed. I'm going to give you some helpful websites in order to register your business and get everything legalized. And for those who already have a business, we're going to talk about taking your business to the next level and just some key points of what you could do in order to make yourself profitable ASAP, like before the end of the year, because that's what we're talking about. We're getting ready to go into a new year. And I don't know about y'all, but like my commitment, not resolution, but every year I vow to myself that I want to make more than I did before, right? I want to be better than I was this year. And so I want you guys to make that same commitment to yourself, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. All right, for those who have not, please sign up for the Boss Report the Boss Report newsletter, which is sent out on a monthly basis by Financial Boss. It will have everything that, you know, the company is doing in and out of Newark. And so I do ask that you guys to sign up. Last but not least, this is all of my contact information. I can be reached on Facebook and Instagram at financialboss.org. If you would desire to email me on a personal level, I am a financialboss@gmail.com. And please go ahead and sign up for the Financial Boss Let's Talk Money group. I'm getting ready to start back doing 5 minutes to get you financially lit. which is just a 5-minute segment about just different things depending on the day. Again, all of this is to better position you financially so that you can go from surviving to thriving. And last but not least, I would like to thank Clinton Hill Community Action for asking me to do this. I really appreciate everybody being in the room and your engagement, and those who were interactive, and everybody who who didn't find it robbery to be with us on a Tuesday night. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cash. Yes, unmute yourself if you want to say thank you. That's totally okay at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Just great stuff. Just like Cash said, this Saturday will be a deep dive with Cash. And I don't know about you, but I would want to be on that deep dive, especially if you're an aspiring business owner. Okay, this is free. Do you know how much it costs to get a business started and to learn how to do the paperwork to get your business started? If you outsource it to somebody else and you can get it for free on Saturday at 10:30, that's all I'm saying.
I just need my donut and coffee in the morning.
Bring me some too. Bring me my Dunkin' Donuts too.
Yes.
So again, thank you, Cash. Listen, be at the deep dive this Saturday. It is our final deep dive, 10:30. We know it's Saturday morning. You love your Saturdays, but it's only an hour, but we want to get this information to you. So thank you again for that, and see you on Saturday. Now, I have a few housekeeping things. I know a lot of you are on because of the referral. If you were referred, if you referred someone and they are on tonight, Keisha will follow up with you regarding the $25 incentive, and they meet the requirements. That is a Clinton Hill resident, and you are on and your person is on, Keisha will follow up with you with regards to the referral. Okay. Also, this is very important. If you have not already sent your email address, well, I should already have your email address. If you registered through Zoom, I should already have your email address, but I need your address and your phone number so that we can follow up about the rental assistance portion of the amenities, which is one of the amenities for attending the financial empowerment workshop. So we're definitely going to need that information, your home address and your phone number, so that we can make sure we can follow up with you so that you can participate in the rental assistance portion of attending this financial empowerment series. Let me see if there's anything else. So no, thank you so much. This has been wonderful. We've been 3 weeks strong. We got one more to go. Keep referring people. Keep telling people about Saturday. It is not too late. Actually, that registration link will close after today. That registration link will close after today. So what you can do is you can take Keisha's email down. Her email is community@clintonhillaction.org. That is her email. If someone wants to attend this Saturday, Keisha will send over the information to that person so that they can attend this Saturday, because the registration link will close tonight. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it open for a few more minutes for anyone who wants to send me the information that I requested. Leave it open for a few more minutes, but I'm going to go ahead and log off Facebook and stop recording. So I'm going to say good night.
Can you repeat the email again?
The email address is community@clintonhillaction.org, all one word, and that is Keisha.
I'll put it in the chat also.
Thank you so much, Cash. And again, just like before, this is on Facebook, so anybody can watch the replay. If you signed up by email, you're going to get a follow-up email from me saying thank you for coming, and also requesting the same information that I said before, because I try to be on it. So thank you again, especially to all our frequent flyers. We appreciate you for being on every week. Tanisha. Frequent flyer. Nee has become a frequent flyer. Appreciate you, Naya. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Shar.
And I feel so
Shafar.
much better today. Y'all just don't know.
Good. So
Yes,
good.
glad you feeling
You're
better.
welcome.
Yes.
Look out for my fans on page.
Yes. All right, so give me a wave. Bye.
Bye. Y'all have
Bye.
a blessed one.
All
I'm just
right.
logging off. I'm still here, but I'm just gonna log off of Facebook.
Okay. Take care, Cash. Have a
All
great
right.
one.
Yeah, have a great week. See you guys on Saturday, right?
All right. Bye-bye.
All right.
So, and stop recording.